Welcome to Snacks Weekly on Data Science. This podcast is all about making data science and machine learning knowledge accessible and less intimidating. Today, we are going to talk about generative AI application. This episode is based on a tech blog titled Advancing Invoice Document Processing at Uber Using GenAI, written by their engineering team. You can find the link in this episode's description. Throughout this episode, we will explore this topic from both the business and data science angles. Now, let's dive in. On the business side, let's take a look at the problem Uber needs to solve. Uber is a massive global technology company operating across mobility, delivery, and freight. And with that scale comes an enormous volume of daily transactions. Behind each of those transactions is paperwork, especially invoices from thousands of suppliers across different countries, each using their own formats, templates, and languages. Some invoices are clean PDFs. Others could be low-resolution scans, and some even contain handwritten notes. This diversity creates a real operational challenge. Traditional invoice processing relies heavily on manual data entry or older automation tools like robotic process automation, Excel uploads, and rule-based extraction systems. But despite these tools, a sizable portion of invoices still require human review. That slows payment processing, increases operational costs, and introduces compliance risks. For a global company like Uber, these delays directly affect financial agility and the ability to maintain smooth supplier relationships. As Uber continues to scale, the diversity and sheer volume of incoming invoices only grows. The company needed a system that could keep pace, something accurate, fast, and adaptable enough to handle thousands of suppliers without constant manual intervention. That need ultimately pushed Uber toward building a generative AI-powered invoice automation system. Now that we've understood the business problem, let's shift gear and talk about the technical solution. Uber's team addressed this challenge by building a platform called TextSense. It is a modular, scalable document processing system designed specifically to handle the messy reality of supplier invoices. The architecture revolves around four core principles: accuracy, scalability, flexibility, and a strong focus on user experience. Let's walk through how it works in practice. Everything starts with ingestion and normalization. Uber receives invoices from just about everywhere: email attachments, supplier portals, scanned PDFs, and even mobile snapshots. The system cleans and standardizes all of those. It unifies file formats, splits multi-page documents, and applies enhancements like deskewing, sharpening, and noise reduction. These may sound like small pre-processing steps, but they dramatically improve the accuracy of everything downstream. Once the document is cleaned, the pipeline moves into optical character recognition, or OCR in short, and layout parsing. OCR converts pixels into text so that the information can fit into the next stage, the real intelligence layer, which is AI and machine learning models. This is where TextSense uses generative AI to perform semantic extraction. In simple terms, the model is prompt to read the document the way a human would. Instead of relying on thousands of template-specific rules, the generative model interprets whatever format is given. It extracts all the core fields: supplier name, invoice ID, dates, currencies, tax details, and full line items. This step is especially challenging because invoice formats vary widely across countries, layouts, and even basic conventions like data formats. But generative AI helps bring consistency across all that diversities. And the system continuously improves through retraining cycles and human feedback. And they can adapt to those new formats or accuracy issues as they arise. After the extraction, TextSense converts all the values into a structured schema and applies deterministic checks. These are strict validations that ensure the extracted data makes sense. For example, the system verifies that line items sum up to the subtotal, that subtotals and taxes add up to the total amount, and that all required fields are present. These checks are essential because even strong generative models can misread ambiguous fields or occasionally hallucinate. The deterministic layer serves as a guardrail before anything flows into financial systems. From there, the system performs confidence scoring and routing. Every extracted field receives a confidence score based on model output, OCR quality, and the validation results. If everything looks solid, the invoice can be automatically processed. But if something seems uncertain, the system don't take chances. It routes the invoice to a human reviewer. That brings us to the human-in-the-loop layer. Uber built a dedicated reviewer interface optimized for speed. A reviewer sees the original invoice on one side and the extracted fields on the other, with highlighted regimes showing exactly where each value comes from. They can confirm or correct fields in seconds. And more importantly, each correction becomes the training signal, which turns out to be improving both post-preprocessing rules and future model performance. Behind the scenes, the system also includes strong monitoring and governance. It tracks accuracy, exception rates, latency, and cost. If a major supplier suddenly changes their invoice layout and the accuracy drops, something known as format drift, the system can detect it. That can trigger retraining or alert the team. Uber also uses a model management layer to choose the most cost-efficient model for each workload, whether it is an internal LLM or an external one. This helps balance accuracy with the right operational cost. Finally, once the invoice is validated, the system pushes the structured, reliable data into their downstream systems. Things like ERP, accounting, payments, and purchase order matching. It also generates logs and webhooks so that internal services can react in real time. At that point, the messy invoice has been fully transformed into a clean, dependable digital record ready for automation. Now that we've discussed both the business problem and the technical solution, let's wrap it up. In this episode, we looked at how Uber tackled the challenge of processing an enormous volume of invoices that vary widely in layout, language, and quality. We saw how generative AI plays a key role in helping them build a more flexible and scalable document processing system. By combining OCR, LLM-based extraction, and a thoughtful human-in-the-loop workflow, the team created a platform that's more accurate and far easier to maintain than traditional rule-based automation. If you like the content of this episode, please subscribe to the channel. give me a 5-star review, and leave a comment. Your feedback is very appreciated, and I'll see you next week.